This episode is brought to you by Domain.com. Now imagine what will happen when we no longer have to look at the World Wide Web through these tiny little screens, and Wove is beginning to show us the light. The smartwatch ecosystem is growing fast, but not all wearables need to adhere to the watch form factor in order to be successful. Enter Wove, the product of the decade-old flexible electronics specialist, Polyera. Unlike devices like the Samsung Gear Fit or LG G Flex smartphones, which feature curved displays fixed in place by non-flexible glass, the Wove band is actually flexible itself and can be bent over and over without damage, thanks to a technology called digital fabric. That's why Polyera bills Wove as the world's first truly flexible display product. Wove features an e-ink flexible display of 1040 by 200 resolution, with its surface totaling about 5 times the surface of a typical smartwatch display. The device is powered by a 1 GHz Freescale Cortex-A7 processor, 512 MB of RAM, 4 GB of internal storage, and 230 mAh battery. Because it employs electronic ink, similar to Pebble products, which only consume power during animations, you can expect excellent battery life. Now I know what some of you are thinking. You're thinking, Jayce, come on, that's all great, but that's still a relatively small display. But think about the possibilities when anything can become a display. When you're not worried about being precious and delicate with your device, anything can be sent information to display information for you. A wall, a window, your table, heck, your refrigerator door can become a display. Then we're not bound to these blocky devices to view the World Wide Web. Could be amazing. Think about it. Now, HTC was really busy this week, so let's start with the HTC One M9 Plus Supreme Camera. The new version is officially called the One M9 Plus Supreme Camera. Yes, really. Trading out the 20 megapixel sensor for the M9 Plus for a 21 megapixel camera with OIS and laser autofocus. While the M9 Plus had duo camera lenses, this time the M9 Plus Supreme Camera offers the laser autofocus system in the second rear camera's place. Outside of the upgraded camera, the new M9 Plus variant is pretty much the same phone as before. That means you get a 5.2-inch QHD display and a MediaTek MT6795 Helio X10 processor with 3 GB of RAM. Other specs include 32 GB of internal storage, front-facing speakers, a fingerprint scanner, and a 2840 mAh battery. At least for now, the M9 Plus Supreme Camera is only slated to arrive in Taiwan, starting October 6th with a price point of about $630. Considering the modest improvements, we sincerely doubt the phone will ever officially make its way outside of Asia. Now let's talk the HTC Butterfly 3. The handset boasts some cutting-edge specifications that arguably make it more of a flagship than this year's One M9. The hardware remains the same as before, offering a 5.2-inch display with QHD, that's 2560 by 1400 resolution, a Snapdragon 810 processor, 3 GB of RAM, a 32 GB of internal storage, with microSD card support if you need more. There is also a 2700 mAh battery, dual front-facing booms sound speakers, quick charge 2.0 support, and IPX5 and X7 certifications for water and dust resistance. Now, one of the more interesting features of the Butterfly 3 is the dual rear camera setup, which offers a 20 megapixel sensor that is able to capture additional depth information, much like the HTC One M8. The rear camera also features optical image stabilization and a dual LED flash. On the front, there's a 13 megapixel camera for some high-resolution selfies. The HTC Butterfly 3 is scheduled to arrive in Taiwan on October 20th with a retail price of around $600. Now let's talk about what Crystal learned when she got her hands on the LG Urbane 2 smartwatch. The new LG Watch Urbane sports a similar design to the original, albeit with a more refined look this time around. Cosmetics aside, the biggest difference is under the hood, as the Urbane 2 is the first Android Wear device to feature cellular connectivity. That means you not only can connect via Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, but also with 3G or 4G, giving you greater independence from your smartphone. The Urbane 2 utilizes a nano SIM and is not carrier locked, giving you the freedom to use it with whatever network you choose. That means you can now leave your phone at home and still have access to your emails, messages, and all your other important data. The Watch Urbane 2 packs the best specs of any Android Wear smartwatch to date. This includes a 1.2 GHz Snapdragon 400 system on a chip, 768 megabytes of RAM, 4 GB of internal storage, Bluetooth 4.1, Wi-Fi, and GPS. The display is 1.38 inches with a 480 by 480 pixel resolution for an excellent 348 pixels per inch. For comparison, the next best display is the Huawei Watch at 400 by 400 pixels. Now the watch is thick compared to other smartwatches, but Crystal claims it doesn't feel big on her hand, even though from this photo, it looks big. Now a couple of you were asking me last week where you could buy an Android Authority t-shirt, and you don't have to buy one. I will send one to you for free wherever you are in the world. Just please come up with the best Android-related domain name with a .com, because there's power in a .com. Now why is that? Because no domain name extension tells your story with the same degree of trust as a .com or .net domain name. .com and .net domain name extensions inject credibility into your online presence. Save 15% on domain names and web hosting when you use our coupon code Android at domain.com checkout. When you think domain names, think domain.com. Thanks for watching, guys. You got till Wednesday to come up with that great domain name with a .com. Let me know in the comments below, and I will choose the best one. You also don't want to forget about my brothers and sister in Android. We're working super hard to be your source for all things Android.